The story begins with a fighting event where powerful fighters from all over the world take part. In this event, they have to fight and reach the final cube symbol. The last person standing will win $25 million. This event is organized by a man named Anton Skal. After that, we are introduced to some young teenagers, Will, Samantha, and Steve. Steve is Samantha's boyfriend. Samantha asks her grandfather about the event, but he warns her saying, Anton Skal is a very dangerous man. You can't defeat him. But Samantha's brother Will is adventurous. He doesn't listen and says, I'll join the event and win it. Meanwhile, preparations for the competition are happening at the headquarters. Soon, Will and Samantha's grandfather Nathaniel also arrives there with his nephew Peter. They meet Anton Skal, who is happy to see them. Then a few minutes later, a betting announcement is made and a gunfight begins. The gunfight starts in the middle of the city, where a dangerous fighter named Corgan kills two opponents, but a third opponent holds him at gunpoint. Suddenly, another fighter named Reverend comes from behind and saves Corgan. Anton and the others watch all this live on screen. Corgan thanks Reverend and moves ahead, where he faces Mr. Sun. Corgan quickly shoots him, and Mr. Sun falls to the ground. But just in time, Will arrives and saves Mr. Sun by firing at Corgan, who runs away. Mr. Sun gives his gun to Will and says, Don't let Corgan win. Meanwhile, as Corgan runs, he sees a symbol and gets happy. Seeing this, people start saying, Corgan is going to win. On the other side, Reverend finds Mr. Sun in an injured state. Reverend says to him, You worship the wrong god, and then kills him. Corgan, following the symbols, reaches a secret tunnel where he finds the winning token. He feels happy seeing it, but just as he is about to take it, Will arrives and shoots at him. Everyone, including Anton, is shocked watching this. Will runs forward while firing, trying to get the token. His grandfather feels proud watching him, but suddenly Anton uses a device to deactivate Will's gun, and Will can't shoot anymore. Then Corgan kills him. Nathaniel becomes very angry seeing this, but Peter stops him. On the other side, Corgan quickly grabs the symbol cube just before Reverend can reach. In the end, the announcement is made. Corgan is the winner of this year's event. Everyone celebrates, but Nathaniel's face is full of anger. 1 year later, Nathaniel decides to bring his family together again to join the event, because there are only a few days left before it starts. Nathaniel is still burning with anger against Mr. Anton Skal, but this time, instead of Will, his grandmother Trudy is part of the team. Nathaniel shows a photo of a man and says, This will be our sacrificial lamb. He tells Samantha and Steve to look after Jimmy and also gives a role to his wife. Then he says, Peter and I will change our names and go to Anton Skal's city. He tells everyone, Keep Jimmy safe no matter what, because this year, he will be the winner. Steve disagrees, saying he doesn't believe Jimmy can win. But Nathaniel replies, He's our last hope, and we have to do this for Will. The next morning, Samantha, Trudy, and Steve arrive at the competition headquarters for registration. Many other fighters are also there. As they enter, Corgan sees a short man named Timothy and mocks him. On the other side, a female fighter named Lauren says to Trudy, Are you really joining the competition, Grandma? Trudy replies, They're giving $100,000 just for registration. How can I miss this chance? Meanwhile, Anton's secretary sees everything and goes to inform Anton, saying, Samantha and her grandma Trudy are entering the competition. Anton smiles and says, This is getting even more interesting. He then tells his secretary to keep an eye on them. After registration, Samantha and Trudy are looking at some letters when Corgan walks in. He tells Trudy, You shouldn't be part of this competition, Grandma. Then he asks about Samantha. Samantha angrily replies, I'm Will's sister, and I'm going to kill you. Corgan smiles and says, You and I are alike, and then walks away. Meanwhile, Steve goes to Jimmy and tries to scare him. He says, You shouldn't do this. You know how to use a computer, not guns. But Jimmy replies, I need the money, and it's too late now. I already signed up. Then Anton Skal arrives. His secretary speaks to the group. You are all the best fighters, some from the military, some assassin, some trained killers. You're here because you love this. Everyone laughs. Then she lets Anton speak. He says, You're not doing this for money. This is your passion. I'm giving you the chance to become the best in the world. A little while later, Anton Skal is talking with his secretary. Suddenly, the secretary notices Steve and Jimmy and asks Anton, Do you know these two? Anton replies, I know Steve, but not Jimmy. Then Anton walks over to them and talks with them. During the conversation, he finds out that Jimmy is also taking part in this year's competition. Anton smiles and says, Best of luck, and walks away. On the other side, Steve finds Samantha sitting alone. He goes and sits beside her, but Samantha is still angry at him because he never stopped Will from entering the competition. Samantha asks, Why are you even here? Steve replies, For you. Samantha calmly says, I can take care of myself, and I will kill Corgan. Just watch. Then she gets up and goes to enjoy the party with Timothy. The next morning, all the fighters are gathered at one place having breakfast. Steve quietly tells Jimmy, When the fight starts, go and hide somewhere. Anton is watching all this on the screen. He asks his secretary, has anyone bet on Jimmy yet? The secretary replies, who would bet on him? Anton smiles and says, make Jimmy's odds 100 to 1. Let's see how long Steve can keep him alive. Later, all the contestants are gathered in one place. On the other side, Nathaniel and the rest are watching the competition names on a screen. Nathaniel tells them all to bet on Jimmy, but no one does. Then Anton arrives on stage and says, get ready for the match. This is going to be fun. The competitors are then shown some devices to wear in their ears. Meanwhile, Trudy talks to Jimmy and plays a small game with him to help him relax and not feel nervous. Then they are alerted, and the rules of the game are explained. They're told, earlier games happened in other cities, but this one will happen right here. In the first round, no guns will be given. They will be hidden. Symbols are spread around. Following them can lead you to the tokens. Collecting a token gives 200 points. Each round will last 2 hours max. The person with the most points at the end wins $25 million. A clue is also given. All the weapons that you seek can be found by going deep. Killing someone gives 100 points. Injuring someone gives 10 or 50 points, depending on damage. Then all the competitors are dropped at different spots. They are told not to move until the starting tone is heard. The secretary begins the countdown. But in the middle, one man tries to run, which a sniper shoots him instantly. The all VIPs watching feel happy seeing this. As soon as the countdown ends, the bell rings, and all the competitors rush to find weapons. Jimmy jumps inside a trash bin. Other competitors find tools and turn them into weapons. Corgan gets an axe, while Trudy notices a slingshot. She tries to pick it up, but fails. Instead, she uses her hairpin to unlock a nearby door. On the other side, Jimmy finds a piece of wood in the trash and starts practicing with it. Suddenly, Steve arrives and asks Jimmy to give him the wood. When Jimmy hands it over, Steve hits him on the legs with it. Nathaniel is shocked to see this, and many others start betting that Jimmy will die in the first round. But Steve spares Jimmy's life. At that moment, Jimmy remembers the clue. All the weapons you seek can be found by going deep. Steve then pulls a weapon out of the water nearby. Jimmy asks him if he can share it, but Steve replies, no, just stay close to me if you want to survive. Meanwhile, Trudy attacks a man with her slingshot, but it doesn't hurt him, and the man runs toward her. She strikes him again, making him fall. Then she grabs his weapon and kills him. Nathaniel is very pleased to see this, and many spectators start betting on Trudy. On the other side, Corgan is also brutally killing a man. The crowd enjoys his violence and places big bets on him as well. Reverend finds a weapon inside a car. He uses it to kill an opponent completely and then makes a plan with Corgan to eliminate the remaining fighters. Reverend approaches one man and asks, do you believe in God? The man says yes. Reverend replies, then go to him and kills him. The crowd cheers even louder and starts betting on Reverend too. Meanwhile, Timothy finds a mark, but the second mark is placed much higher. He uses a rope ladder to climb up. At the same time, Reverend attacks him, which gives Jimmy the chance to climb higher. Reverend tries to strike Jimmy, but just in time, Steve arrives with a gun. Seeing this, Timothy runs away from the area. Then Samantha and Trudy arrive. Trudy uses her slingshot to hit Reverend. Reverend glares at her angrily and says, I'll deal with you later. At the same moment, Corgan also reaches the spot and sees Jimmy climbing upward. Samantha, full of anger, charges at Corgan to attack him, but Corgan's ally blocks her, and a fight breaks out between the two. Samantha quickly manages to defeat and knock down the fighter. Finally, Jimmy reaches the cube. All the remaining fighters gather below, watching him as he is about to pick up the symbol cube. But one fighter angrily tries to attack him, but Steve shoots an arrow into the man's hand, injuring him. Jimmy then finally grabs the symbol cube and becomes the winner of the first round. Nathaniel feels happy seeing this, but most others are not. Meanwhile, Anton's secretary informs him that someone had placed a bet on Jimmy and that person has just won 10 million. Hearing this, Anton asks who it was. She replies that it was Donnie, which Nathaniel's fake name. Anton says, if it was anyone else, I would be worried. But look at Jimmy. He won't survive the next round. After that, all the competitors have their weapons taken away. During this moment, Trudy gets into an argument with the same fighter whom Samantha had attacked earlier. Out of anger, that fighter suddenly snatches a grenade from a security guard. Seeing this, Trudy runs toward a nearby car, but the angry man throws the grenade under the car, causing a massive explosion. The spectators are thrilled, calling it the best action scene of the game so far. But soon the sniper shoots the man dead because he had broken the rules of the game. Watching this, Samantha completely breaks down. Nathaniel also feels shattered because first he had lost Will, and now his wife. At this moment, Anton approaches Nathaniel and asks about his plan after putting 10 million on Jimmy, but Nathaniel stays silent. Then Anton's secretary comes and pulls Anton aside, telling him that Timothy was using some kind of device during the game. Anton immediately orders her to search him. The secretary goes to Timothy with the guards. When they question him, Timothy doesn't answer. They check his sunglasses, and inside they find a hidden device. Seeing this, the secretary instantly disqualifies Timothy from the competition. Timothy thinks he will just be allowed to leave now, but as soon as he turns around, a shot is fired into his head. Some competitors feel happy, while others feel sad. After that, Anton's secretary warns him, "Sir, if people keep betting on Jimmy and he keeps winning, you will lose everything." But Anton smiles and says it doesn't matter. Soon round 2 starts. Before the game begins, all the competitors are given a chance to choose their favorite weapon. Then the countdown starts and the game begins. As round 2 begins, many people die. Samantha, even after losing her grandmother, keeps fighting bravely with full courage. During the fight, Steve also gets injured, but he doesn't give up. Then Jimmy also enters the battlefield. Round 2 ends when Corgan gets the token. After that, Anton goes to Nathaniel and says, "Your $10 million are gone." Then he reveals his real identity. "You can't fool me. Peter told me everything." Nathaniel feels sad after hearing this, but then he says, "I'll bet 1 million on Jimmy." Anton is shocked after hearing this. Then Vlad also says he will place the same bet. Anton thinks for a moment, but then accepts their bets. After that, Anton quickly goes somewhere private with 2 guards. Before round 3 begins, the competitors are given a chance to choose guns, but each gun only comes with 2 clips of bullets. After choosing, blindfolds are tied over everyone's eyes. A countdown begins, and in the middle they are told to remove their blindfold. As soon as they open their eyes, they realize that all the competitors are standing very close to each other. This makes the game even more dangerous. When the countdown ends, Corgan immediately aims at Jimmy, but before he can fire, Samantha shoots Corgan, saving Jimmy's life. The fight turns brutal. Many people die, but Reverend, Lauren, Jimmy, Samantha, Steve, and Corgan survive. Meanwhile, Anton returns and threatens Nathaniel. "Because of your bet, everything is at risk," but Nathaniel doesn't react at all. Corgan keeps trying to kill Jimmy. Once again, Samantha jumps in and protects him, giving Jimmy the chance to leap over a gate. But Corgan refuses to give up and continues chasing him. Soon, Jimmy comes face to face with Reverend. Both of them have guns. On the other side, Anton watches everything on the screen. He tries to use the device to disable Jimmy's gun, but this time it doesn't work. Jimmy fires a shot, knocking the gun out of Reverend's hand. Reverend falls to his knees and begs for his life, saying, "Please don't kill me." Jimmy replies, "I won't kill you. Lauren will." At that moment, Lauren arrived. Since Reverend had killed her teacher, Mr. Sun, in last year's game, Lauren carries that pain with her. Instead of using a gun, she pulls out a knife. Filled with rage, she fights Reverend and kills him in a slow, brutal way. On the other side, when Steve and Samantha reach Jimmy, they see that he is fighting very effectively. Killing his way through, Jimmy rushes into an apartment. Inside, more opponents wait to attack him. But Jimmy, who had been hiding his real skills until now, takes them down one by one as he pushes upward through the building. Steve and Samantha follow behind, climbing up after him. At the top, Jimmy faces even more enemies. Suddenly, his bullets run out. Just as one fighter is about to kill him, Steve and Samantha arrive in time to save him, but more opponents attack from behind, forcing Jimmy to move forward. From the front, enemies also open fire on him. Jimmy quickly kills them and makes his way outside, where more fighters are waiting to finish him. But once again, Jimmy defeats them all. Watching this, Vlad and Nathaniel are overjoyed. Then Jimmy notices a symbol. When he enters, he sees Corgan standing right beside the cube. Jimmy points his gun at him, but when Corgan turns around, he laughs and says, "Put the gun down, Jimmy." Instead, Jimmy fires directly at the cube. Anton, watching, becomes tense. At that moment, Samantha and Steve arrive too. Samantha spares Corgan, but Steve shoots him. Jimmy then grabs the cube, making Nathaniel and Vlad the winners of $100 million. On the other side, Anton angrily pulls out cash and valuables from his locker, frustrated at his loss. Steve and Samantha ask each other, "Did you already know about Jimmy?" Then Samantha's grandmother, Trudy, arrives and says, "I knew him." Samantha becomes emotional, seeing her grandma alive. Nathaniel then explains everything. Jimmy was trained by Will, and this was planned as a surprise for everyone. Trudy had swapped Anton's device, and Peter had never betrayed them. It was all part of their plan. At that moment, Anton's secretary arrives too and reveals, "I was part of this plan as well, because I loved Will. Nathaniel gave me the chance to take revenge." After this, everyone celebrates their victory. Meanwhile, Anton's skull tries to escape, but Vlad and his men block him. Anton hands over his bag, but Vlad says, "I want the $100 million. and orders him into a car. Anton, completely defeated, realizes he has lost everything. And this is where the story ends. So, friends, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. I'll see you in the next upcoming video. Until then, take care. Bye.